from business client and from some clients heard that when it came to surviving and hunting expertise on the kind of region Sakal was made up of, cold and harsh, Andy was one of the best around. He proposed to Andy to do an initial scouting and reconnaissance the island to see how hunting a high risk or how a hunting business could survive with professional hunters and survivalists leading the expeditions into the cold. The pay for the job was astronomical, to a point where the amount already had Andy thinking of retiring after the job was done. Retiring after the job was done. In addition, Yuri would arrange for the entire travel to the island to ensure that Andy would have a visa to work and operate on Russian territory for at least a year. Would pay for any equipment that Andy would need for the job. One of those opportunities that one could not pass up. Sounded that he would take the job and would just need to arrange for a plane to use for aerial reconnaissance on the island. And he wanted the money up front. Both of which were agreed to with no issue. July 2020. What is it? Wait, the meteor. Beginning of July 2023. So we'll change this to April, so he actually has some time to. Beginning of July 2020. By the beginning of July. Headset. What? Andrew had set foot on Sakal and was starting to get his bearings while waiting for the promised supplies to arrive. He had what he needed to get by around towns for a couple of weeks. But the main equipment he needed to truly venture into the wilderness would take some time. His best making conversation with the locals, figuring out the best local suppliers to make business arrangements with, and some good places to recommend to his potential clients in the future. A major disruption, though, completely turned what should have been a challenging but relatively easy job completely upside down. Middle part of July. A meteor fragment crashed into the volcano. Of there was some news reports that another meteor had made landfall in Europe as well. Not thinking too much of it, and he brushed it off. Terrible things start. On the locals were starting to turn feral. Hey, Krista and Jen. Turn feral and turn on each. The military was losing control of the island. Eventually, any United Nations support stopped. then communications on the island shut. Here. Now without this. Yes, I did go to the Linkin Park concert. That was in middle of last month. Fantastic concert. 100% enjoyed it. Was well worth it. Well worth the anxiety and slight panic attacks and being in New York. Concert was absolutely amazing. Like if they do a future tour for any future album stuff like that, and they make any attempts to play in Detroit, even Chicago, maybe New York again, like I would definitely try to get tickets again, because I would love to go back, especially once they start playing the new music from the album they're releasing next month. I thought this. Supplies from his benefactor. Only with what he had on him. And on his own. To survive with what he had. Try not to freeze. I'm just gonna run this through. Word. Yeah, like I know, like there was a lot of worry after like they did their underground concert before they started the main tour, and I remember watching that video, and there was some moments where she was kind of shaky and stuff like that. But like my thought was like I would love to see a singer go into a band with such iconic history, like iconic tracks and stuff like that, especially as Linkin Park does, and nail it on the first try, playing in front of a live audience of probably some of the most hardcore fans that were probably in LA at the time. And I had, so like when they announced that they're doing the tour, like it was definitely something to kind of like, listening to. I heard I didn't watch any videos from the LA concert. Heard it went well though, which was good. But like, you know, the way she performed in New York, like I'm not worried at all. I know she has some baggage that she's trying to distance herself from. Nothing like terrible. It's more or less just people trying to pick at something, because some people feel like some diehard fans feel like Linkin Park's kind of like I don't know why I put ahead. Feel like it was kind of dishonoring Chester, but I mean, the majority of the band came back. I think the only people that didn't come back was their original drummer. He wanted to stay with family and stuff like that, which is totally understandable. And at least for this portion, like this tour, this first tour, the main guitarist was not performing. He was still working on stuff on the back end, but he didn't want to do this first tour essentially. But yeah, I mean, she's no way she's ever gonna, be Chester. Like that's like you're not gonna be able to fill those shoes. You just have to make her own shoes, which the music, like at least the 2 songs they've released so far, they did one that's going to be on the new album. They released that when they really did their debut show with her. And then they were picked up because there's some League of Legends fans amongst the group. They wrote the World's Anthem for League of Legends World Championship, this year. So just based off that sound, like it's Linkin Park. It's different though. Like it's definitely Linkin Park. It's got a different feel to it, and be curious to see how the new album sounds, because I know like one of the driving things behind Linkin Park's success was just like was Chester, and the emotions he had when he wrote the songs and all that stuff. And like, there's just some things you can't match, like the emotions behind the songs. And she sang the songs great. Like, don't get me wrong, like she nailed it in the New York concert. I mean, the screams weren't like the same kind of like feel as when Chester sings them, but for her ability and for her filling in, or for her stepping into this role, like she did amazing. So I'm looking forward to hearing the new music being released and stuff like that. And just the atmosphere at the concert was crazy too. It's like you could tell which generations kind of lived on Linkin Park. Because a lot of the people that were there was some kind of like younger people, kind of like lower 20s, you know, kind of like Gen Z kids there, which means their parents raised them right. But at least on music. But a lot of the people there were upper 20s, 30s, low 40s. Like you can tell which generation grew up on that was so and they filled Barclays Center. And like just hearing everyone sing, everyone, like the atmosphere was unreal. Artemis did really good too. She had her headphones on and stuff. So she did better than I did. Let's just say that. But yeah, like if they come back around the Midwest area, like I 100% will go back to another concert. 100%. But I'm kind of curious how the feel is going to be with the new songs and stuff like that. Because I mean, like, I don't know how much of her it's gonna be her, like her writing songs, or if they're mostly gonna be written by Mike Shinoda. But I know Emily Armstrong. I mean, she's got some baggage of her own, or some kind of history of her own. Like she grew up in Scientology. Now, my understanding, just from kind of listening to some of her songs that were about it, like I'm gonna guess that she separated from the church. Her parents are still pretty prominent members, so but I don't think she has any involvement. I know people were saying, "Oh, you have a singer that has relations with, is friends with Danny Masterson," but it's like she denounced that. Like she went to one day of the court case, heard all the evidence that they presented that day, and is like, she never went back. She swore him off, sort of thing. But that's, I mean, you kind of get introduced to people when you're in Scientology that later on are pieces of shit. Yeah, so I don't know how, like, if she's out, or what, but like she doesn't come across as, if she's still in, she doesn't seem like she's that deep necessarily. But I mean, she's got her own stuff and stuff like that. But I know some friends I have saying there was probably better options that they could have chose. But like, I think for kind of moving forward, I think she was a very good pick. It's pretty much what it is. It's pretty accurate. It's a cult. It's not a church. It's a cult. It's a cult that God forbid you leave, because if you have any family in there, they're forced to swear you off, and you're forced to swear them off. Which is like, I mean, it's kind of hard, but like, oops, I don't want to do that one. Okay, so character page is made. So what we're doing today, I forgot to do this last night. We made a new character for DayZ because they have a Sakal server, which is part of the new DayZ Frostland expansion, and I've been wanting to check it out. So this is our new character, Andrew Mistman, survivalist hunter, super basic stuff, hunting guide, and now trapped on the island Sakal after he got hired to do a job, and then the same events that happened in Livonia, meteor-wise, a meteor crashed into Sakal too, with the same meteor, just a different chunk, and it progressed a heck of a lot faster than Livonia did because the meteor crashed into the volcano, heated it up, so the parasite spread a lot faster, a lot more uncontrolled spread. So that's kind of what we'll work with. So we're going to start playing that and hope that we can survive and not freeze to death. Shoot, I forgot to change the name. Oops. It's gonna kick me out, I know that. Mistman. Back together. Let's move you over to here. Move this up here. What's the other section? Honestly, no, shit. Poop, that's not what we wanted. Okay. Okay. Not sure what. Just in case, I'm gonna exit out and re-enter the game, purely because I don't know if it used the correct I gotta change this too. So we might be playing with a friend that's interested in trying out the server too, fellow DayZ RP streamer. I know they had mentioned that they we're gonna play some other games with some friends first. Let's actually put this like that. Put Discord on the bottom here. Yeah, not a problem. Always appreciate the lurks. Don't be scared if you hear me get super frustrated, because Sakal is not supposedly not to be a friendly map in terms of potentially freezing to death. So we're gonna see how well we can get ourselves set up. I gotta wait a little bit. Because I can't spawn in any clothing. We don't have a map to start with, which is gonna be fun. So we have no idea where we're at. Thankfully, we're in a town. We do have some stuff. And from what I've heard, loot is sometimes pretty scarce, so... Oh, come on, bro. Holy shit, you take. And we might need that. That actually might come in handy. Okay, cool. We got some food. It's cold, not frozen, which is important. If it was frozen, but I imagine eating it's not going to be. Dude, these infected take a punch. Holy shit. Being like him. So really, we just. So the fun thing about this server is that the DayZ team are like the community that we're moderator for is like they have the bare minimum when it comes to stuff on the server. Like bare minimum mods, bare minimum like the rules still apply and stuff, but it's just like very. The goal here is to survive. Bro, these infected. Either the knife I'm wearing is just garbage, which is very possible. Or not wearing, using. Bro, is that a... Okay, so someone's been here. Someone's been here. Okay, I'm gonna see if the game if it will let me start spawning in close. So we're gonna go with the Ushanka. Okay, cool. So it's letting us spawn stuff in, which is cool. We'll see if we actually get it though. We'll pull out some tactical goggles. We'll go with red. Don't remember what the insulation is like on the Acronym jacket. Which is one. Ooh, it's actually spawning shit in. We'll go with the Colorado jacket. Brown, hunter pants, brown, spring, summer. Winter pants are good insulation. Question, I don't remember if they have good. We'll go with Colorado. We'll go with black Colorado pants. And then boots. We'll go with brown. Should be everything, and then we can do Okay. Starting to warm up already, which is good to... Holy shit, just go... Shit. What we could do, though... Let's try to cut that stuff up. There, now we should be warming up. This rags will be super useful for or when we make fire. Cool. We are actually looking okay now. Tell me nothing. So at least we're not super worried about freezing to death. We just had to wait 5 minutes to get or 5 or 10 minutes so we could actually get clothing to spawn.